this one, but a previous one. Anytime you have red hair, you know it's Ginger, right?
Yes.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. As we continue with day 2 of the Ultimate Bundle Week, we are featuring guests who have a product in the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. What is that? Well, it is a wonderful compilation of 111 distinct programs, ebooks, and courses that will help you look and feel your best. And I'm really excited about today's guest because it's not a recipe book. It's a course on how to dress for the best you. Her name is Ginger Burr. She is from Total Image Consultants. I've had her on the show before. She is fabulous. And she's going to talk a little bit about what she put in the bundle and just how we can be our best selves. So welcome, Ginger.
Oh, thank you, Chef AJ. It's always a blast to talk to you.
Yeah, I love what you do because it's just I just love making people feel good about themselves. And I think when people look their best, whatever that means, they feel better about themselves.
Oh, it's so true. And so many women have a lot of anxiety or frustration around putting together a wardrobe. And this is especially true as we get a little bit older. So when you told me about the bundle, I thought this is the perfect complement to the different kinds of things that you have going on in there. So I'm delighted to be part of it.
You know, I always wish when I watch shows like Downton Abbey, I'm like, God, I wish I had somebody dressing me. I say that all the time because it's really easy for me to feed myself. But I look at my closet, I'm like, I don't know I wish there was that person I wish I had you here. And every day you would put my clothes out and tell me what to wear.
I know. Actually, to be honest with you, I would love that. Wouldn't that be nice to not have to go out and figure out all the different pieces, coordinating pieces? And things have gotten more complicated even with the pandemic too, and all the shipping and manufacturing issues that are going on. So yeah, I can see where wanting to have a dresser would be great, or somebody do your hair. I've always wanted someone who will do my hair every day.
That would be amazing. Or even like I noticed, it looks to me like you have a different pair of glasses than I've seen you in. And they're very attractive. And I always think I just had to get prescription glasses for driving and prescription sunglasses. And I went into Costco and I'm like, I don't know. I go, just give me something. I could, because first of all, without the lenses in there, I couldn't see anyway to see if it looked good. And I said, look, honestly, I said, just give me the cheapest pair. Because I didn't know. I mean, how do you know what glasses look good on you?
It's very tricky, and people think there's this magic bullet. This is true about all of fashion, but also with eyeglasses, a magic bullet, here, tell me what shape, what color, what, style I should be wearing. But there's no generalization for it. I do a lot of eyeglass shopping with clients because it's right there on your face, in the center of your face. And you want to feel good about how they look on you, particularly on Zoom, if you're need to be able to read and that kind of thing. So
right, because here's my I don't know, I can't really tell how these look because they're prescription readers, so I can't really see through them when I look at myself to even see. But
they disappear a bit, and that's what some people want, is they want their glasses to disappear, and that's what I do with these. And other people want their glasses to be an accessory, part of their wardrobe of clothing and accessories that they have to change every day. So it really just depends.
Yeah, I know. I love it when people wear bold fashion glasses, like purple or something. I'm like, you go, girl. I really think that's so cool,
It is. It can be very cool. And if you're going to do that, I recommend that you have more than one pair, because you may not always want to wear purple glasses with everything. So if you're going to be bold, you might want to have more than one pair.
Right. Can you work with people on Zoom to help them with their fashion?
Oh, I have an amazing woman who that's all she does is virtual eyeglass shopping. So I work with my clients with her because she knows all about all the things you have to, the technical part about putting choosing glasses. And so then we help them make choices. So yes, I do it virtually.
It'd be so fun. So tell us about the product that you put in the bundle.
So I did a product. It's a 90-minute video, and it's called Dress for You. And it has to do with honoring and celebrating your body shape. And to be honest with you, I've been in business for over 30 years, and I have avoided writing a lot of things or creating programs around body shape because it's way more complicated than you would think. And women think that it is, when they know their body shape and they understand their body shape, that takes care of everything. And it doesn't really do that. And there's lots of misinformation out there, lots of conflicting information out there. And I thought, what I really want to do is hone in on what are the important aspects of body shape to help women be able to feel like they're making choices with their clothing that serves them and makes them happy. It doesn't feel like they're having to fix something or there's something wrong with their body. So I'm approaching it from a little different focus, but it is all about body shape, which I thought went well with people thinking about losing weight or, eating healthy or all of those different kinds of things that, fitness, all the things that are going, the other options that are in the bundle.
That is great. Have you had a chance to look at the bundle at all? And have you noticed any other offerings that intrigued you?
I have. I mean, I haven't had
one. And welcome to Chef AJ. Sorry about that. That happens. That sometimes happens,
It just starts up. I haven't studied all of them, but I, of course, downloaded yours right away. And today I made one of the recipes from your bundle. It was a quick one, really quick one, but really great. It was the Kathy Hester's the vegan pepperoni.
Her spice mix. Her spice mix class is fabulous. She is she's like a magician when it comes to putting blends together because I love what she does. Yeah, that's a wonderful offering in the bundle. There's 111 different ones. So there's something for everybody.
Well, I thought there's another one about making plant-based ice creams. And so I've downloaded. I haven't tried any of them yet, but I'm like, that sounds really
yeah, that's Nate Maris's book. It's a really, really good book. And it's the photography is incredible.
Yes. There are some awesome ones. There also are, interesting ones about fitness that I think would align well with what I'm doing. And also some about how to deal with inflammation in the body. These are all some that I need time to go back and study them, but I've downloaded them just so that I know that I have them because I know it's important to do that before March 2nd. So.
Right. And definitely download it. And the thing is a lot of people that do bundles offer it twice a year. We're going to do it once a year because there's enough information to last us till next year.
I would say, yes, people have lots to keep them busy.
Yeah. So you talked about their styling tools. What does that mean? Like a flat iron? What are you talking about when you talk about styling tools?
So to help us styling tools, there's no one answer to how to put together a wardrobe so you feel great, so you feel empowered, so you can get dressed easily every day. And I think of these as tools that you have in your fashion toolbox or wardrobe toolbox, if you will. One of them is understanding your body and the shape of your body and how to highlight different parts of your body. And if you want to detract or from some parts of your body, learning how to do that, but also things like color, knowing what, and you and we talked about this previously, but knowing what colors look great on you can really help you feel lively and dynamic or serene or whatever it is that you want to feel by choosing certain colors. Understanding how to fit clothes to your body, no matter what your body shape is, understanding how clothes should fit, because just because you buy them the way a designer has made them doesn't mean that's the way you need to wear them, because their fit model very likely has a totally different body from yours or mine or anyone else out there shopping. And also the other tool that I use a lot is who are you? Because I think it's really important to choose a wardrobe that reflects who you are. And because not everybody wants to wear purple glasses, for instance, but there are some people for whom that is exactly what they need. And so understanding who you are and then using things like body shape, color, fit of clothes, all of those things work together. It's like having all the ingredients like you have. If you're missing one of them, if you're trying to make, one of your tarts or pies or desserts, and you're missing an ingredient, it's not going to look the same or taste the same when you finish. And it's the same thing with your wardrobe.
Are there any really rules? Like I remember it's been over 3 years since I lived in LA, but I used to take these weekly makeup classes at Sephora, and they would teach us technique, but then they would say, hey, even though this is your palette, if you really like this orange lipstick, you should wear it. Like, is it the same with clothes, or are there just certain things we shouldn't do, like competing patterns, like, polka, what I'm trying to say is, are there some rules that we all should follow?
Yes. Well, okay. So here's what I believe around all of that is know the rules first. And once you, and you only need to know the rules, if you will, or guidelines for you. You only need to know them for you. Once you know them, then you can break them, because then you actually know you're breaking it and you're doing it with intention. So that, yes, if orange is, and I've had women who come to me and say, I love orange, or I'm somebody who, I love red. I bought a red car because I really look quite dreadful in red. But if you love orange lipstick and it makes you really happy, and it's not in your color palette, but it makes you feel amazing, then wear it. Absolutely. But there is one tool in particular. A lot of fashion has a certain degree of subjectivity to it and personal preference to it. And that's perfect, particularly once you know the rules. But there is one tool that I use a lot with my clients that is exacting, and it's called the Fashion Fit Formula. And what that does is it tells people how to choose clothing to balance their body vertically. So what lengths should tops be, or skirts, or capris, or 3/4 length sleeves, or any of those kinds of things? What lengths should they be to balance your body vertically? And then again, once you know those things, you can still break those rules and say, I don't care. This is not the length of the skirt I'm supposed to wear, but I like it anyway, and I'm going to wear it. So again, doing it with knowledge and intention, that's really what, and making your heart sing. So you're really happy to get dressed.
Well, what's kind of cool though is colors come in so many shades that even if orange maybe not be your best color, there might be a shade of orange that is.
Yes, you might be able to do apricot, or maybe you could do a burnt orange, or russet, or rust, that kind of thing. So yes, you may be able to do it in a print. Maybe you can't do a whole outfit in orange, but you can have a print that has certain amounts of orange in it to, feed your soul and make you feel happy.
That's so cool. I love I think it's just so fun what you do. Do you mostly work people one-on-one, or do you ever teach like group type of classes?
Oh, I do. Particularly since the pandemic, I teach a lot of classes. That's the main way that I work. I do one-on-ones as well, but I do a lot. I have a 6-week class that really gets into all of the guidelines and rules, if you will, so that women really have that information and then they can jump off from there. But yeah, I love teaching classes. It's a total blast.
Wow. Are there any must-haves, Ginger? Like, I mean, you hear like every woman has to have a little black dress. Like, is that true?
So there are a lot of those out there. And if you do a search on them, you will find a million of them. And they don't all say the same thing, but there are certain things that people say everybody should have, like a white blouse or a little black dress. And I am not a believer in those things. I don't own either of those things. I don't have a little black dress, and I do not have a white blouse. And I think a lot of it can depend on your personality. It can depend on where you live. I mean, some people say you should have a pair of black knee-high boots. Well, maybe not. What if you live in a warmer climate and you don't ever wear boots? The one thing I do think that we all can benefit from, and that is a really well-fitting bra. So, that really allows the clothing to hang well on you. But in terms of, having a trench coat or a black dress or those types of things that you hear in a lot of those, no, I think we each should make up our own top 10 list.
Well, that's very cool. How do people know what to do with their hair? Like, I'm trying to grow mine out now, and it's so hard, that period where it's not short, it's not long. How do you withstand that? And do you ever go by face shapes? Because, you talk about body shapes, but our face shapes are pretty much our face shapes.
Right. And face shapes do figure a lot into hairstyles. Now, I'm very clear with people, I am not a hairstylist, because also what figures into your hairstyle is what's the texture of your hair, and how much, maintenance are you willing to do? Because not everybody is willing to blow it dry or flat iron it or any of those kinds of things. And I have to say that I think your hair looks amazing. I love the spikiness of your hair. I don't know how long you're planning to grow it, but I think it looks fabulous. And you're right, growing it out can be one of the most annoying things. And in the pandemic, I've actually had, while this doesn't necessarily have to do with hairstyle, I've had a lot of women come to me who have let their hair go natural, go gray or white or whatever their hair is now. And it takes so long for it to grow out that they can find it frustrating. But the key to all of that is having a really good hairstylist. I mean, a really good one, not one who just does what you tell them or does the same thing you've always had, but someone who understands your face shape, your hair texture, all of those kinds of things, so that you really can have choices and know exactly what your hair can and can't do.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's see if there's any questions in. Keep my neckline trim short until the layers grow out. Okay, that's very. People are saying they're white shirts. Yeah, I don't think I have a white shirt. I mean, because and is that true about no white after Labor Day?
No, you can wear white anytime these days. So what might change is the fabric. I mean, for those of us, at least in New England, we're not going to wear a white linen anything in November or December or January, or like most of the year. But so the fabric might change, but if you look great in white and you love white, it's available all year round these days.
You know, I never understood why they made chef coats, at least originally, white, because that never made sense to me. If anything, they should be black.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I guess maybe it's because they want people to see that, you know, you're keeping everything really clean and neat, and, you know, they can feel confident that you're keeping a clean kitchen. I don't know. It is kind of an odd thing.
Yeah, let's see. You guys have any questions for Ginger? I'm scrolling through the chat. Yeah, and it's funny because we both showed up in animal prints.
I know.
And we didn't talk to each other, but a lot of people, you know, it's funny because I had this lady that used to live in my apartment building, and literally it wasn't like that she had a uniform, because, you know, sometimes people have jobs where they have uniforms, but she like literally only wore one color, beige. Like that was it.
Really?
Like ever. And I'm like, that, I was just kind of interesting. Maybe that was what made her feel good, but it just, you know, because I love color. I wear these crazy leggings that are so bold. And I'm wondering, like, is there an age limit to how, like, in a certain, like, when I'm 70, should I maybe not be wearing those anymore?
No, you know, if you look it up online, I forget what it's called now, but there was someone, I forget his name now, who did the study of older women who just had their own style. And a lot of it was very bold. And they're amazing. They're like works of art, what they're wearing. I'm a big believer that you wear what makes you happy. And as long as you're happy, you're projecting confidence, and you're going to draw in the people who are meant to meet you. And if someone doesn't like it, it's their problem. I mean, first of all, you're never going to be inappropriate and show things you shouldn't show, but you're just going to wear things that make you happy. And I think you should go ahead with your bright leggings if they make you happy.
Oh, here's a great question from Sherry. How do you determine the correct length of shirts, pants, etc.?
Okay, so that's where the tool I was mentioned earlier, the Fashion Fit formula, comes in. It's one of the few exacting tools in fashion, because it really works with your height and bone structure. It has absolutely nothing to do with weight. You can gain or lose weight and it won't matter, but it will actually tell you based on your body proportions where things should fall. So, because otherwise what happens is we stand in front of the mirror and we think, I don't know, should it be 2 inches shorter or 2 inches longer? And it makes us crazy. So it's one of the tools I use with all of my clients. And you can find information about it on my website, but it's you don't have to guess anymore. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Nice. Okay. I saw another question. What is the best neckline for someone with a long face?
So you always want the neckline to balance it, but it also has to do with other things. What's going on with your shoulders, what's going on with your bust line, those things will make a difference. But I can tell you that the one neckline that almost universally works is a V neckline, one that isn't, you don't want it too wide or too super narrow. You just want it to kind of follow your face and come to a V, something like that. Hopefully she can see me, something like that. It looks good on pretty much everybody.
Nice. Okay. I saw. Oh, what do you think about bell bottoms? Are they going to come back?
Bell bottoms are back, only they're not called bell bottoms anymore. They always rename these things. They're now called flares. And they're back. I love them. My favorite pair of jeans is flared. I think they look the best on us when we wear them very long. So they're only like maybe an inch off the ground. Although they're showing them worn a lot shorter, but that can make your legs look way shorter. So you have to decide if that's something that feels good to you. Otherwise, bell bottoms, flares, or a wider boot cut, any of those, whatever you want to call them, they're very much in right now, and can be incredibly flattering.
Great, thanks. Here's a question. Do you use the kibby system? I don't know what that is, from Mandy, Kibbe.
I don't know what it is either, so I guess I don't use it.
Okay, Mandy, if you have more.
I'm curious. I would love to know what it's related to.
And Mandy, if you can give us like a link or more information, we can ask a follow-up question. Karen says, what should a pear-shaped person wear?
Okay, so I get into a lot of that. I mean, that's what I spend 90 minutes talking about, not just pear-shaped, although I call them triangle, in my program that's in part of the bundle. Because a lot of it has to do, there are beliefs out there that there are certain things that triangle shaped women should and shouldn't wear. Mostly traditionally, I'll talk right now about traditionally, they tell you to balance your shoulders with your hips, because your hips are always wider, and hips and thighs are always wider than your shoulders. And so that is one way to do it, which then gives you a little bit more of an hourglass shape. Often things like they're hard to find right now though, A-line skirt or a fit and flare dress, those kinds of things are things that fit easily on women who are pear-shaped. I am actually pear-shaped, and I also have narrow slope shoulders. That doesn't necessarily always go along with every pear-shaped client or woman. I like a little bit of a puff here, nothing that looks too sweet. I'm not sweet. So a little bit of a puff here, because it helps to balance my hips and it gives a little bit of a lift to my shoulders. So my class, I get a lot more into all of that. And so I recommend going and checking out the it's called Dress for You in the bundle.
Great. Will I be able to ascertain what my body type or shape is when I take this course?
So what I do is I talk about, so what I did before creating this program was I interviewed I did a survey, and hundreds of women responded. And when I asked how many women thought that knowing their body shape would help them, 97% said yes. When I asked how many women actually knew their body shape, only 50% said they even had a clue as to what they thought it was, because it's confusing out there. So in this class, I will give you all the details of the traditional body shapes, because I'm just talking about the traditional ones. There are also really wacky ones out there. They call things lollipops and bricks. I don't know who wants to be called a brick. And so I get into all the different details within 5 different body shapes, and then how traditionally they recommend that you dress them. And then I give you tools for how to play with your body shape, because I think that's where we are the most empowered, is when we can actually use techniques to play with where we want the focus to go.
Great. I Googled the kibby system, and it said, the kibby body type system is a body shape system that was developed by David Kibby in the 1980s that focused on 5 main categories: dramatic, classic, natural, gamine, and romantic. It evaluates the balance of your yang, sharp, angular, and your yin, soft, rounded features. Okay,
I do not get into that. I find a lot of the body shape things so confusing. And if you do a lot of research out there, you'll find that there's conflicting information. And I'm also a believer, if you find a system that works for you, hey, go with it. That's what this is all about, is finding out what works for you. So if the kibby system works for you, awesome.
Great, thank you. And here's a nice comment from Shoshana, who has a wonderful meal mastery course in the bundle, and she was a guest yesterday. Says, it's about having the knowledge of what suits you best, but having the confidence to also wear whatever you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly right. And you have that confidence when you know what actually works for you, and then you can play with it and expand on it if you want to. But yeah, it's all of that knowledge that gives you that level of confidence. Love that, Shoshana.
Yep. And Kathy says, how about jewelry?
Oh my gosh, jewelry I think that's my superpower. I totally love accessories. And in fact, in the 6-week class that I do, we spend an entire class on accessories. Now you can tell I love big jewelry. These weigh nothing, but they're big. Not everybody would wear jewelry this big, but there is a whole technique to how do you choose jewelry to go with different things based on color, based on design, based on your personality. And how would I had a necklace on at first with this, but then I took it off because I also love big earrings. So I think there are a lot of times women get bored with their wardrobe because there's too much that's just simple or understated. And so I encourage women to do is add visual interest. And jewelry is one of the ways of adding visual interest and adding personality to your wardrobe. So I love accessories, and I love helping women understand how to do that. I don't talk about accessories in the bundle because it doesn't really figure as much into body shape, but it's something I do a lot with my clients and in my classes, other classes.
That's nice. What is the best way to hide large thighs when you have skinny legs?
Okay, best way to hide. Okay, so she means she has a skinny lower leg and a fuller.
I'm guessing that the thigh sounds bigger than the calf, or that's how I'm interpreting it.
Okay, all right. So that's where something, and I don't know if she likes to wear dresses or not, but that's where, and it sounds like what she would like to do is show off her calves. I'm not sure because I don't like to assume anything with people's bodies. So if what she wants to do is show off her calves, then wearing something like a fit and flare dress, or something that floats over the thighs and the hips, and then it gives the focus to the calves, can do that. Trying to think what else because in order to show off your calves, you have to cover the rest of your body. You don't want to be naked. You could also do, it would all be about doing some kind of a little fit and flare top. I would have to know more from her to know what her questions are and know where she's struggling, because it sounds like something is keeping her feeling.
She says she doesn't like her skinny legs.
Oh, she doesn't like her skinny. See, that's why I don't like to assume anything about, she doesn't like her skinny legs on the bottom, but she has a little bit fuller thighs. Okay.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, pants will definitely, cover all of that. And these days we have so many choices in pant leg widths. In fact, while skinny pants are not, and skinny jeans are not going away, they've become kind of classic. Now we do have boot cut, we have flares, we have straight legged and a looser, more relaxed fit. Actually, is very popular, and she might like that, so that it doesn't, squeeze the lower leg. Trousers, the more pajama-y kind of pants are very in as well. So really, she could have a blast with different types of pants that will cover her lower legs if she doesn't want to show them.
That is great. Do you work only with women, or do you work with women and men?
I only work with women. Yes, I do not.
Is there a ginger Burr for men?
Well, there's a woman in in the Boston area. I have not been in touch with her for a little while, so I'm assuming she's still in business, but she works with men, and there are image consultants out there that work with men. I do color analysis for men, but I don't do anything with clothing. They're a whole different animal.
Are there any fashion trends you wish would just go away permanently?
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, to be honest with you, the wide-legged cropped pants, please go away. In fact, anybody who wants to can go to my website, totalimageconsultants.com, and go to my blog post. And I did a whole blog post on there where I talked about how to style or if to style wide leg cropped pants. And I showed myself as an example from things that I felt did not work at all to how I eventually came to something that felt fairly successful. But I personally don't think they're super flattering, and they're hard to figure out, like, what shoes do you wear and what do you wear on top with them? And so that's a trend I just wish would go away for sure.
Right. Do you help people get the best bra for their type?
I have gone shopping with some of my clients for bra fittings, but mostly what I do is I collect lists of really good lingerie stores where they know they're the professionals when it comes to fitting bras. So, actually Nordstrom, if you live near a Nordstrom, they do a pretty good job of bra fitting. Rigby and Peller, they are a few of those around the country. And then there are a lot of smaller companies as well that really, they understand how to fit women. So they have a bra that's comfortable, but also, works well for their body shape.
Yeah. Have you heard of Soma?
Yes. Soma, their focus really is comfort.
Yeah,
so,
that's where I get mine. It's comfort. I got to have comfort.
Oh,
What
yeah.
I love, the reason I wear so many of these shirts, people don't realize, is because they have a built-in bra shelf, and I love it.
Oh, I know. Isn't that the best?
It's so comfortable. Yeah. Oh, so here's a fun question from Kathy. Do you think women will ever go back to pantyhose, or is skin here to stay?
I was just working with a client yesterday who wears pantyhose. So some women are, but I think that for the most part, no, because I think most of us don't find them very comfortable. I don't wear a ton of dresses, but if I do now and I feel I need to wear a sheer stocking, then I get thigh highs because I find them so much more comfortable. They're not binding at the waist because I don't have a waist, and they stay up really well. So if I have to, I do that. But I find a lot of women now either feel comfortable going without stockings, or they wear more of like a midi dress, which are very popular, which I actually like when you find it one that you feel good in, or they wear tights or leggings, or, like Sheer-Tex makes really amazing tights that don't run, and they come in colors and patterns. And so you can have a lot of fun with that. But pantyhose coming back, sheer pantyhose, some people wear them. If I had to work in corporate and I had to wear a dress, which nobody has to wear a dress, I would still wear a sheer stocking because my legs are very pale and very freckly. So that would just make me feel better. But no, I don't think they're actually coming back.
Do you have any advice for people like me that I really cannot wear heels anymore because of a repeated broken ankle? And so, like, I never know what to do when I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing now is that there are really beautiful flats out there. Can you wear like what do you call it? Like a block heel that's like, this?
It's really, really small. Honestly, sometimes I just wear tennis shoes. I don't know what to do. And I luckily I haven't been speaking professionally, but it is what it is. Or I just don't wear a dress anymore,
Right. Yeah. That's sort of been kind of my response to it. But if you can do a little bit of a heel, it can be a block heel. So it helps you feel supported. And that gives a tiny bit of a lift if that makes you feel better. But there are some really beautiful flats out there as well. And these days, although, I guess it depends on where you're going, a trainer, a kind of fashion sneaker can also work and be a little bit funky.
As someone suggesting a kitten heel. I'm learning all these words I've never heard of before.
Yeah, kitten heels are very thin. So it just depends on whether or not some people don't feel, if you had a broken ankle, you may not like a kitten heel, but they give a little bit of a lift without being super high. So some people prefer them to give a little lift, but you would probably be better off in a block heel.
The older I get, the more I'm built for comfort.
I think that's true for everybody. And these days we don't have to sacrifice style for comfort ever. Everything has stretch in it. And it's, there's always comfort you can find, always.
Amy's mentioning platform shoes. I remember in the ninth grade, like I had a pair. Oh my God, that's how I broke my ankle. They're still in, but you could do a little wedge possibly too. Again, that gives a nice support to your foot, but you have to be safe too. You don't want to be safe. Kathy says, what do you recommend for women with small breasts? Do you recommend padded bras?
Well, it's very, very, very much a personal preference. I actually, personally, I do wear, now you know more about me than you probably ever wanted to know, but I do wear a padded bra. But I have clients who are very small busted who just embrace the fact that they're small busted and they're fine with that. And they don't try to add padding or anything. They just, build their wardrobe around that. So I think it depends on what makes you feel the best, but I love my padded bras and I find them very comfortable. So
that is great. Well, I cannot wait to watch your video. And guys, it's worth the price of the bundle, which is $49 for 111 products from over 90 contributors, ebooks, courses, videos, over 1,000 recipes. And I'm so happy for your contribution because it just really makes it very well-rounded. And I was going to let you go, but I just saw this very good question from Sid. Is your hairstyle considered a part of your fashion statement? If I'm having a bad day, it does not matter how good my clothes look. I know what she means.
Oh my gosh, she is so right, because I remember years ago, a friend of mine said, if you're having a bad hair day, nothing else matters, which is extreme. But I think of our hair as an accessory, basically. And so it's important for us to, if that affects you, and it does affect me, if I'm having a bad hair day, then it feels like nothing else works. So it's important for me to be able to do quick fixes if I need to. Or I have a friend, she's an image consultant in Australia, Suzanne Decaver. She's amazing. She does head wraps in gorgeous scarves, and they're just so beautiful. And she says, if I'm having a bad hair day, I just throw a head scarf on that blends with my outfit and I feel amazing. Now that may or may not be this person's, personality, but that is another option as well.
Well, I've done 864 live shows since the pandemic began, and the audience knows when I'm having a bad hair day because I'm wearing a baseball hat.
Yeah, see, there you go. A hat or a head wrap or whatever you need to do. But you always look fabulous.
Well, thank you. And so do you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This was so fun catching up with you. And guys, in addition to Ginger's wonderful offering to the bundle, if you want to take her class or work with her personally, the link to her website is just below in the show notes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chef AJ.
Of course. Thank you, Ginger. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back in about 90 minutes when my final show of the day 2 of Bundle Week, is Brittany Giroudi, and she's going to be making some delicious recipes like cruciferous munch. Thanks, Ginger. Take care. Bye-bye.